Okay, good morning, peoples. All right, we get to talk about our schizo friend here, known as Coney. Coney can't make up her mind or his mind. Up and down and everywhere. We got saved, people. We really got saved. Now, hopefully, these fund managers execute. Okay, so what do I mean by all that? Let's jump right into it. So we were at 219.91. We blew right by our big 2000 212.5, right? And it was going to cost us like $20 million or something to that tune. Let me go look at holdings again at that time. Now it's down to $1 million that we could lose of our seven. We may get all seven of it or 6.9, but I mean, there was this guy, 20,000 contracts at 212. So yesterday we went to 219, right? Well, Wednesday we went to 219. So yesterday we started coming back and opened to 218, ended up closing all the way down to 199. Now, I would have bought those back at these close prices and given up the million and just secured six. But based on it, I mean, it's up 204, 205 in the morning. They just need to buy these. Now, granted, how these things work, this time premium, the options players on the other side, they understand this really well. So they'll sit there and they'll won't decay it till about 2 hours into trading, right? They'll hold it at, the amount that you're over, but the time premium will be there, right? So even at 205, they'll make that 212.50 like 75 cents. And so the fund manager is like, well, I can get it down to a nickel or a penny. And sometimes you just get it done and you write your next week's. So I just wanted to give you that scenario. So we were down, coin was down 9.43. I was happy to see it. I would have settled for 203, 204, but it went to 199. So we were only down 5, right? So we were half on the upside the day before. We got a little more than half, 55, 58%. So it went up 8.3, we went up 4.7. So they dropped down 9.43 since we were making money back on those on those weeklies. We gained on their loss, right? We only went down 5. So that was a 4% gain. They went down 9 plus. So we're in a situation where we want them to buy those back, and now it looks like that's going to happen. And so what I did in holdings, I went in and update the close price. But remember, that's got 1 day of time premium, right? So you got something that sells for 207.5 and they're saying it's worth $1. Well, at 199, it's not worth anything, but you risk something. So my guess is these are going to drop to like 20 cents and they're going to buy it back. If this thing opens around 204 or 205, you don't want to let it run to 215 and have to buy it back for $3. So, it's only 46 cents. So go in there and buy it back for 20 cents right after it opens this morning. So anyway, I'm real comfortable now that this 7 million that we looked like we lost. And guys, it was at 21 million. When I had the values in here of where it was at 220, we were going to spend 21 million to buy back what they gave us 7. So we were going to have a 14 million net loss, right? So now we're just going to gain, 6.5 or 6.8 of the 7. Okay, so what happened here? So now on our 220, we have a 42 million. Well, that's actually a loss. But again, this doesn't matter. It's paper, and it's all the way out to 719, right? It's what you sell and book that we get paid on. So this now closed at, I gotta move this here to the 20 date, right? So it closed at 2079, fair value 2072. In the pre-market, it's up to around 21 because we bounced off 199 to like 203 or 204. Let me see. Right now, it's trading for you guys at pre-market with 2 hours and 5 minutes to go before the market opens, 203.5. So as long as we stay in this range for the opening and don't, really the key is the 210. That's the key. Why? Because of the contract size, right? All the money is in the 212. And then the next biggest is 210. So if it stays below 10 and you 210 and you buy those back, you just covered, right, like 95% of all the contracts, if not more, right? So that's 6.2 million and 3. So that's 6.5 million that you want to secure. And these you're going to secure because they're all up there. We're 98% ahead, 98, 96, 98, right? So let's go over and look at the weekly. So all of a sudden, these are out of the money again, right? So we're looking good. You know, we've right now captured 84.81 at the close of yesterday, but that'll jump to 95 or more. So a save, we can take a deep sigh of breath. And CONY is running again, my psycho friend, CONY. All right, what else can I tell you? Let's go to the May tab. No, well, we did do more contracts, right? We did let me pull up my notes, and I can run to the 220 synthetic, and we put 300 contracts, right? Buy call, sell put, sell short the put, and then I'll show you what we did for next week on the strikes for the call. So this put, we had 9 million in our pocket after yesterday, 9.1 million, right? By going out and selling these new 220 and taking the big hit on those ugly 260s. And then today we added more, 300. Well, when you're underneath it, when it went down, it was a smart move on the fund manager. So that put another 500,000. So we went from 9.1 to 9.6. So if you jump over here to payments, I'm going to go back and I'll wrap this up at the end. But our 81 is looking a little better. Whoops, this needs to be 6. And that'll drop to low 81s. All right, so this is got us still at the 63 cents, right? We added a couple 100,000 shares, 250,000 to be exact. This is the ugly part, right? But if we keep moving up now and we're writing more, we can start lowering this, right? We had a 17 million carry forward, right? They gave us, we earned 176 here and they let us pay 228. So they took a little out of this, but this accounts for it. So I think we can still earn $2, but we've got to really work for it here for CONY. And what's the worst? We get a mid 1, to high 1s. So we'll know more as we move through this. So I said, hooray, let's get our 7 million or, a high percentage of it. And we'll keep working our 62, 63 cents for next week. So let's go look at what they wrote again. So on the 300, they wrote a 215. That worries me a little bit that it's 6 trading days, right? And they only collected 3.675 because I'm sure it was already back down when they wrote that one, right? Had they written the 215 when it was way up there, but they waited till it went down and they could get more money, so the loss wasn't quite as big. Because remember, that loss was 127 million at one point before we moved up some yesterday. So overall, I'm back kind of bullish on CONY. I'm super bullish if you saw my video on Misty because it doesn't have that big loss. It had its synthetic loss 3 weeks ago, and it survived. So I think we will do well here. I really am happy with YBIT. For those of you that haven't looked at YBIT, it really mirrors with BITO underneath in BTC. It really mirrors that inverse head and shoulders. And Coin hasn't, because they're still talking about, well, can the CME be an exchange trade partner for cryptos and for BTC? And is that competition, since they're so established, the commodities exchange? I don't know. But that is why you're seeing Coin not respond to the 66,000 on BTC. Let me show you a chart on where BTC is here this morning, especially since that one trades 24 hours, right? Whoops, I didn't put in when you use Thinkorswim, you have to put a slash mark when you're putting in a futures. Oh yeah, we're looking pretty good. So here we are at 66.5, guys. We're right back. These dashed lines when you're in Thinkorswim are 24 hours, right? So this was a lot. And since these don't care about stock market open and closed, they don't show it shaded. If you showed a stock that only trades in those hours, then all of a sudden it's shaded. So we're right back up. We get through 67.5 and that's another breakout, right? Then we should go to 69 and back up to the old highs. So it's just a question of, if we don't hold this and we break back down, sooner or later we'll go. It's just a timing issue. So they wrote one. Now what you're going to see is you're going to see these roll today, right? So we want to buy this thing back for a nickel or 10 cents or something and keep most of our 6.2 million. And same thing up here on the, which one is the 1025? Oh, it's these two combined. What they did was they wrote a 210 and a 210, and they wrote one at 3.7 and one at 2.4, right? So we got a lot more money in one of them than the other. But when you add them, that's why they have to be broken up. But when we buy them back, we'll probably buy all 1025 for a nickel, 10 cents, whatever we pay. So looking over here, here's where our share count went up, right? So we went up 250,000 shares. We spent 2 million because of the various positions we put on. But overall, I'm really, really happy. I mean, we may have just got saved by the skin of our teeth, because that was ugly there. I mean, we want to go up for the synthetic, but we hate to lose our weekly income. So let's see if there's anything else in holdings. Fair value there. I didn't update my losses, but those will look a lot different when I update them, because now we're working with a new synthetic. So we want to get back up to 220, starting next week, and start moving up and making money on our synthetic, just not blowing by our calls. So hopefully they go out, depending on where we close out, 15% or so on those weeklies. Because right now, everything here expires. We're super safe on these, and we're real safe where they can buy them back this morning and be done with that. And we want to get right back up here into breakout territory. Okay, guys, I think, let me do a little bit in payments. All right, so how can we move forward? How do we get? So this hurts us, no question. I talked about this example yesterday, right? Where you had a $72 million loss, and but we got to 157 and they paid 2/3 of it. Okay, and in that case, yeah, they had a little bit. They had $1 million carry forward on the previous month. But I feel comfortable that if we get another you know, maybe we'll get 10 million. That's another 50 cents. So I'd say the worst we're looking at is $1.20. So if I had to do a range here, I would say it's $1.20 to $2. But again, we're 20 trading days out, right, from the next declaration, which is June 5th. So hang in there. Let's all root on our psycho friend. And let's stay positive. Okay, this Bruce out. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for fun and entertainment and a little bit of education, but not financial advice. Okay, have a great one, guys. Have a good trading day. Have a good work day. Have a good off day, whatever the day brings you. And I promise some new videos this weekend on some other sectors. All right, bye for now.